Humans, why does nobody tell you that leveling up can feel a bit lonely? One day you're locked in, focused, growing, and then the next you realize that the people around you just don't align with you anymore. And now you're stuck between loyalty and your old circle and stepping into your future self. So, what do you do when you feel yourself outgrowing certain people, but the guilt is keeping you stuck? Welcome to Vibes and Affirmations, where there's a thin line between crashing out and keeping it all together. I'm your host, G, your favorite voice of reason and sometimes chaos. And today, we're discussing the fear of outgrowing people and why it happens, how to handle it, and why your next level might require new energy. If you're watching this on YouTube, you get to see me in braids and you get to see my Aruba visuals.
I put that on my mama, on my hood. I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my bag.
Visuals. I'm gonna insert certain clips here of me in Aruba, and I'm excited. This episode has been long coming. I've been avoiding the mic for like a month long. I've been celebrating my birthday for a month long. So if you follow me on socials, you already know how I've been doing. It's actually been a great month for me. I'm so grateful and so proud of myself for being able to do everything that I want to do whenever I feel like doing it. So I'm into that, and I'm into many more years to come. Yeah, I also get to experience my DR trip soon. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for y'all to see the No Lo Haga gang having a blast in DR. I, on the contrary, usually don't talk to the mic when I'm vlogging. It's weird as hell. So this time in my DR trip, I try to do that a little more because I noticed that in my Aruba trip, I barely spoke to the camera. I'm usually the girl behind the camera, literally. So I'm trying my best to be more vloggy and actually give y'all a breakdown of times and stuff like that. So that was a learning experience, this trip. But it was fun. I had a great time. And I'm now 29 years old. So happy birthday to me. Let's get back into it. If you've been feeling distant from certain relationships, noticing shifts, and questioning whether some connections still serve you or not, this episode is for you. But first, let's set the tone with today's affirmation. Are you ready? I give myself permission to evolve. My growth is not betrayal. Yes, say it with me. I give myself permission to evolve. My growth is not betrayal. Because listen, the people who are meant to grow with you will. And the ones who aren't, maybe they're just a part of your story, but not the whole book. And that's okay. Let's break down why this happens. Nobody ever prepares you for this part of self-growth. You're out here thinking that shit's always gonna feel good all the time, but sometimes it's lonely, awkward, even guilt-filled if you ask me. It's not that you stopped caring about certain people. It's just that you started caring about yourself in a deeper way. We romanticize growth, but the truth is, it often comes with grief. You're mourning versions of yourself that can't come with you. And sometimes the people attached to those versions as well. I had to sit and reflect, like, why does it feel so hard? You start feeling bad for wanting more. You tell yourself, they were there for me when I had nothing. So you shrink a little to stay loyal to who you were back then. But loyalty and stagnation, they're not the same thing. That is called guilt. The moment you start changing your habits or priorities, someone might come out the blue and be like, you acting different. And they're probably right. You are. You're evolving. And that's not being bougie. That's called boundaries. We tend to fear that judgment. And that's what I noticed with outgrowing certain people. We confuse comfort with connection. Story of my life right here. For real. Just because someone feels familiar does not mean they still fit in your life. Familiarity can keep you stuck in places that you no longer need to be in, that no longer serve your growth. That is called a comfort zone attachment. Yep. And sometimes emotional ties will keep you stagnant. Some friendships and relationships were built on shared pain, chaos, and versions of you that didn't know any better. Now that you do, those dynamics feel different. They don't feel the same. And that's growth showing up as discomfort. Some people love the old version of who you are because that made them comfortable. The evolved you makes them question their own growth. Isn't it some shit that when you start evolving, certain people feel like they falling off? Don't take that shit personal. It's not rejection, it's redirection. You're not leaving people behind. You're just walking at your own pace. And the ones who are meant to be in your next chapter, they'll catch up. They'll meet you there. Or maybe not. Here's the thing, outgrowing someone doesn't always look like a big fight or some dramatic fallout. Sometimes it's subtle. It's the conversation that don't hit the same. The silence that used to feel peaceful now feels a little heavy and uncomfortable. The energy just shifts. And a lot of us ignore that shift because we don't want to face the fact that certain people aren't meant to be in our lives anymore. We don't want to face what it means. But if we're being real, there are signs, loud ones, that let you know that you have outgrown someone and it's time to stop forcing what no longer fits. Here are some signs that might signal that you have outgrown someone. You feel drained instead of feeling energized being around them. It's like the vibe doesn't recharge you anymore and you leave feeling a bit anxious or irritated or just off. That's your spirit telling you, we have outgrown this piece. 2, the conversations stay the same. Oh my God. You ever speak to someone and you just always talking about the same thing? The same thing. Still talking about the same drama, same people, same cycles. Meanwhile, you're just here trying to evolve and talk about purpose, discipline, even healing. As cliche as that sounds. Or just new goals. Give me new conversations. The disconnect is not personal, is what I've learned. It's just proof that you're not vibrating in the same level anymore. Number 3, you start filtering yourself. You stop sharing your wins because you don't want them to feel uncomfortable. You downplay your growth because you can feel subtle jealousy or just dismissiveness. But anytime that you shrink to stay liked, you already outgrown that environment. Number 4, you had the conversation and nothing changed. You tried expressing how you feel, you pulled back, you adjusted your energy, but the pattern usually stays the same. That's an indication that you have let shit go. Okay? Number 5, you catch yourself reminiscing more than relating. You hold on to memories just to justify the connection, and the present moment, it just feels like you're holding on to a ghost. Outgrowing people does not mean that you're better than them. It just means that you're finally honoring the version of yourself that's been whispering, we deserve better, way better than this loop. Sometimes you have to release people with grace, not resentment. They served their purpose. They helped you grow. But when the lessons are learned, you're allowed to move forward. It's just up to you whether you want to do that or not. So now that you know you have outgrown someone, what's next? Do you ghost them, have the deep conversation, or try to force the connection? Here's the truth. There's not a one-size-fits-all answer. Every bond is different. Some deserve the conversations. Others, allow them to fade quietly. What matters most is that you handle it with awareness, not avoidance. Accept that not all friendships are meant to be lifelong. And that does not make them any less meaningful. Some people were just supposed to walk beside you for a certain season, to teach you something, help you grow, remind you of who you were before you evolved. That season still mattered. The love was still real, but you trying to drag someone into your next chapter when their role in your life is completely out of place or complete, dare I say? That's what builds resentment. Let the distance happen naturally. Not every shift needs to be a dramatic friend breakup. Sometimes you just stop talking as much, the text slowed down, your priorities change, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean bad blood. It just means that you might be on a different frequency now. When the connection is genuine and aligned, time won't ruin shit. But when it runs its course, forcing it will only drain you. Make space for new connections. You cannot receive what is meant for you if your hands are still full with what's familiar but has expired. The more you cling to misaligned people, the less energy you have for those who match your next level. So clear the space emotionally, mentally, spiritually. People will come to see you for who you are now, not just for what you were then. Growth doesn't always look like adding more. Sometimes it looks like letting go with peace, not necessarily bitterness. You're not abandoning people. You're honoring evolution. And the people who are truly for you, they'll understand that because they're likely growing as well. All right. I want you to sit with this for a second. If this episode hits, I need you to reflect and ask yourself, what connections feel heavier than they should? Where do you find yourself over-giving or over-justifying? Sometimes we call it loyalty when it's really fear. Fear of being the one who changes or the one who leaves first. Ask yourself, am I nurturing this bond or I'm afraid to just let it die? Because listen, every time you level up, life will test you. Yes, every time you level up, life will test you. And part of that test is seeing if you're willing to release what's no longer for you. Growth will always ask for space. The question is, will you give it what it needs? So, if you've been feeling that quiet distance, those weird shifts, that inner nudge to move differently, trust that shit. You're not losing people. You're likely finding yourself. At the end of the day, outgrowing people isn't thinking that you're better than them. It's not you thinking that you're better than anyone, actually. It's about becoming better for yourself. And the people who are meant to be in your life, they will grow with you. And the ones who don't, their chapter in your life has simply ended. And that's okay. So stop feeling guilty for evolving. Stop shrinking yourself to make other people feel comfortable. I know I say this a lot, and it's something that I tell myself a lot. You're not responsible for making everyone fit into your next level because your future, it needs aligned energy, not forced connections. That's it for this episode of Vibes and Affirmations. If this episode hits home, send it to someone that you think might need this little reminder. Follow the pod so you won't miss next week's episode. Also, check out my vlog for DR and let me know what you think. Until next time, humans, stay solid. I'll grow people when it's necessary and keep vibing.